Hi Erin.
Hello.
Okay, so what are we doing today?
We are going to be listening to Shane Kimbrough talking to some children in a school in South Street School, Danbury,
Connecticut, USA. Okay, so Shane Kimbrough. Who is Shane Kimbrough and where is he right now?
He is an astronaut and he's up on the ISS International Space Station.
Cool, okay, so how are we going to listen to him? What do we have in our garage that we can listen to him with?
Millions of radios.
Millions of radios, okay. Do you want me to show you on the camera how we're going to do it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, so you know outside in the garden we have our antennas, right?
Yeah.
And our antennas are connected to this radio here, okay? And on the International Space Station, Shane Kimbrough has a radio similar to ours, very like ours, so we can listen to what he's saying, right? Now, this computer here, our computer here, controls this radio, so it's on the correct frequency. And it also controls these antennas outside, so they point in the right place. And on this computer here, on this screen here, we can see exactly where the space station is now. So, where is the space station above right now? Is that, what part of the world is that? Oh, let's look at the map. Where is it? Pick a country.
I think it's near Brazil. It's near the top of Brazil.
Yeah, near the top of Brazil. Okay, very good. So we have about what time is it now? We have about 6 or 7 minutes before we see the International Space Station.
We have the questions.
Oh yes, we have the questions, right? So
we have our answers.
Yeah.
In the comments, you can put your answers.
Oh, okay. So what we're going to do is we've got our questions, or we've got the questions that the students are going to ask.
And then we've added our answers.
We've added our answers, what we think it is. So we've been researching all day to see what our answers are going to be.
Halfway through our video, before we listen to it, you can stop the video and we'll put this up.
Yeah, okay.
And you can give your own answers in the comments.
Very good. So what we'll also do is we'll record it using this computer here on this fancy software, and we're going to record it with this little recorder here as well, aren't we? And we're going to also video everything with Mummy's camera over here.
Yeah.
So we'll video everything, and then afterwards we'll see how many of our questions we got right.
And how many of your questions you got right.
There you go. Okay, see you in a minute for what we call acquisition of signal, Erin. That is when we acquire the signal. Are you ready? Thumbs up. Okay, so the the antennas have started moving. Okay, do a video of that and see the antennas moving.
So I'm gonna.
So there, we've just heard him. Right, so his first question is, what is the most difficult part of your job? Let's see what his answer is.
Copy you loud and clear. Oscar Romeo 4, India Sierra Sierra, has you loud and clear. Ready, over. For me, the most difficult part is being away from my family, over.
Being away from his family. So our next question is, what type of microorganisms are dangerous in space? What microorganisms are important and needed in space?
Types are the ones that get us all sick, so we try to prevent that. We haven't had anything happen so far, thank goodness, because if one person gets sick, then everybody gets sick since we're in such a small environment. Over.
Next question. What type of medical testing does an astronaut have to go through to be physically and mentally fit for duty?
get tested on about everything, because since our missions are usually about 6 months long, you have to be physically fit. Your heart and everything inside of you has got to be checked out as well as psychological testing to make sure you can withstand an environment like this with just a few people in a very small area. Over.
Did you always want to be an astronaut, or is it something you came to?
I did want to be an astronaut ever since I was about 5 or 6 years old, because back then that's when the astronauts were landing on the moon, so that really inspired me and motivated me. But then I went to the Army. I was an Apache helicopter pilot in the Army and didn't think the astronaut thing was going to work out, but eventually it did, so I did kind of get it through a different career. Over.
See the movie?
Well, I very much miss my family, but we do get to do a video conference with them once a week, so it's like doing FaceTime once a week with them, and I can talk to them pretty much every day. Over.
His next question is, what was it like to leave Earth's atmosphere, and how did it feel?
Well, we were strapped into a Russian spacecraft, and it was a great ride, nice and smooth compared to the space shuttle that I flew on previously. They were both amazing, but this one was just a lot smoother. It's a lot smaller vehicle, and it just felt great. We were accelerating super fast. It took about 9 minutes to get from the launch pad to space. Over.
How long can humans stay in space?
Well, that's a good question. We haven't really proven that yet. We did just recently have a 1-year mission where one Russian cosmonaut and one American astronaut were up here for 1 year, and that's the longest in one stay that anybody's ever been in space.
So our next question was...
We use satellites just like you do on Earth, actually. Our internet's not very good here, so yours is much better on Earth than it is here on the space station. But we do email information back and forth to our friends and family. Over.
How do you handle major medical emergencies, such as a broken arm or a heart attack?
Really good question. We train for all this, and hopefully we never have anything that happens like that. But we do have all the equipment on board, whether it's medications or equipment to handle major medical emergencies like you mentioned. Over.
Do you have medical equipment besides a first aid kit?
Yeah, absolutely. We have all kind of medical equipment up here. And somebody on our crew was trained to be the medical officer. In our case, it's me. I'm one of the medical officers, even though I'm not a doctor. But if we had anything happen, we would have a real doctor, our flight surgeons on the ground in mission control, talking us through whatever the procedure was. Over.
Can you alter the procedure of an experiment?
Yeah, another good question. In general, we follow the procedures, and the scientist who created the experiments that we're doing is usually talking to us on the communication channels. But if we see something that we think needs to be changed, or maybe even changed the next time it's done to make it easier, then we can offer that up, and usually they take our suggestions. Over.
Are you limited in the type of experiment, such as doing an experiment with open fire? I wouldn't like to play with open fire in space, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot do any experiments like you mentioned with open fire. We're in a really high oxygen environment up here, so anything with fire is very, very dangerous. So we try to stay away from things like that.
Do astronauts work only on experiments that suit his or her speciality?
Great question. No. Like one day we'll be working on something that maybe we know about. The next day we'll work on something that we have no idea about. So it's really a great job. We get to do all different kinds of experiments, and we also get to work on different things. One day maybe a plumber, because some of the plumbing has gone bad. Next day we're working on electrical things that may have broken, and that applies to all the maintenance tasks as well as experiments that we do. Over. Okay.
Do all the astronauts sleep at the same time? Well, this is what we wanted to know, wasn't it?
Yes, in general, we go to bed about 10 o'clock at night. We're on Europe time or London time, so it's a little ahead of you guys. We'll go to bed about 10 o'clock and we get up at 6 in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. How do you overcome the language barrier on the ISS?
Well, we all have to speak Russian. We launch and land in a Russian spacecraft, so a lot of our training is done in Russia, so we pick up the language through that as well as through instructions. And when we're on the space station, we speak, generally when we're we're speaking to the Russian cosmonauts. We speak in Russian. Speak in English. That way we can help each other out with words that we may not know.
Okay, look, it's starting to go down now, so we're losing the signal a little bit, and our antenna is pointing at the house as well.
Nothing that we have to do specifically, me or some other person, that we can all do everything. We're going to train generically so that we can all handle all the chores that will.
Oh, is the weather in space? That was the next question.
Yeah.
See on the map where he's nearly over, he's nearly gone now from us.
So we don't feel any effects of weather on the space station, thank goodness, because it's a nice, comfortable environment, just like it is in your school. The temperature outside, though, if you happen to go outside, goes from about 200 when the sun's out to minus 200 when the sun goes away. That happens every 45 minutes for us because we're going so fast. Over.
Is time different in space? How do you figure out what time it is on Earth? Oh, I wonder how to do that.
You said mission
we go
control.
by the 24-hour clock just like you do, although kind of like I mentioned before, we're on the time it is in London. So I think 5 hours ahead of you guys is where we go. And we just kind of subtract 5 or 6 depending on who we're talking to on Earth to figure out what time it is there. Over.
What is the emergency procedure if debris were going to hit the space
Great
station?
question. We have people that monitor those kind of things on the ground, and they would actually move the space station out of the way as one option. Another option, if it's too late to do that, then we would just get told as the crew to go in certain modules that are a little safer to protect us. Over.
Good one. Last question. What time zone is the ISS on?
So the time zone is called Greenwich Mean Time. GMT is what we call it for short, and again, that's the time it is in London. Over.
Yeah, that's all the 20 questions, Erin. We've heard them all. So he's probably going to say goodbye now.
Yeah. And we've almost lost the connection.
Let's see what he says next. Look, just up there with the... Have we heard the last? Is that it?
That's it.
I think that's it, Erin.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Cool. Yeah, he's just moving.
Let's listen for one last bit because he might say goodbye at the very end. I think that's it. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I think we've lost
Just put the camera up there again, see where he is now. So he's gone over. Let me take it up close.
He's just gone. Just gone.
So he's just gone. So
He's a little bit over Russia.
yeah. So our antennas now are just pointing back at the horizon again. And any second now, they'll come back. We've got no more signal on the waterfall, and our radio's gone quiet. Let's see. Will the antennas go back by themselves?
Probably not. You might have to do it yourself.
I won't. It'll. Oh, there they go. Yay! Okay. So, Erin, what did you think of that? Give me out of 10.
100.
100 out of 10. Thumbs up. Okay. Love your T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Star Wars.
See you later. Bye.